He didn't want to hear from his partner, older man, must have been in his 90s, something like that. Told him if she moves, she's going to hit both of us. He told the old man, mind your business. He said he's screaming at me, move your car. Wasn't a white cop, just was a Hispanic cop. But to me, they're dressed in blue. That's all the color I see. It doesn't matter what color they are. They still irritate me to this very day. So when that part finished, I will tell you I had to pull over and I had to take a minute and breathe. And I must have given out a scream. I'm sure everybody heard it. I was that angry. Had I had a black man in the car with me, it would have never happened. I can almost guarantee you. But I know for a fact, in talking to many of our black women in the military, here, overseas, we always seem to get jammed up or picked with when we are by ourselves. It's very rare, except for what we just got finished seeing, that someone like myself would be accosted by some officer, that had something to prove. It's not the first time that I've had issues with law enforcement. And as a woman, I can tell you when my man left me, I felt very uncovered. But I am protected as I need to be. I'm fully trained, fully certified, fully licensed. What has happened since this incident has occurred, these two incidences of our black men being gunned down, my children who are older, they're 30s, the rest are in their 20s, have all called me and said, Mom, please do not take your gun out of this house. We know that you are licensed and certified. We beg you to not take your weapon. And I thought about it, and I asked my daughter why she said that. And that morning, her friend had been called, out to go to work early. She was pulled over by a police officer. Police officer didn't even say hi. He asked her, the first thing out of his mouth is, do you have any weapons? When I understood that from my daughter, I have not carried my weapon, even though I can conceal and open carry. I can do whatever I want to do, but be out of the mouth of babes. Yes, they're grown, but here I am, a black woman. We used to be the most ugly, most undateable, but as someone has mentioned, yes, we had the jobs and the houses, but now all of a sudden, we are very dateable. What I know from me and the other black women I talk to, the aggression that white men and other men are showing us, are trying to date us, we got to fight that battle now too. We're not interested. We would rather have our black men. But it's a battle. You want to take our children. You've locked up our men. You're trying to pit us with, other skin colors, which we are not interested in. And if we don't succumb to their desires, then we're ostracized and picked on. This is the same thing that enslaved black women went to. It's just that we just have better clothes today. That's the only difference. The other difference is we're all not going to go ahead and just open our legs per se so that they can spare the life of. We got to find another way. So, now I'm hearing that this revolution is based on women. I can tell you from a woman, I'm tired. It is time for black men to get up and stand up, because if I'm tired, and I'm from the old school, I know for sure other black women like myself are tired. We will help you do what you need to do, but you need to stand up and take your rightful place. We can't do it all. No matter what the supremacy machine says, we cannot. And I yield on that point.
Okay, thank you, Queen. And Lady T, if I could get your thoughts, and then I would like to actually, because I would like for us to have some time to work on solutions. So I believe the two people left that I wanted to hear from were my brother, Mr. Handcuffs, Brother Lee, and the co-chair and chairman of the Panther Party, Tars Beal. If you two could go after that, and then I would like for us to kind of curve towards trying to work on some solutions with the rest of the time, if we could. Go ahead, Queen.
Okay.
Sorry,
Mia. I said you forgot about me.
I didn't forget about you, Queen. I'm sorry. No, you're going to have a chance to come in because I believe you had spoke earlier. I'm trying. We have a lot of people on. It's just, I would love to have all of you in the same room. This would make this so much easier.
Right.
But unfortunately, I want to give everybody a chance to be heard. So we'll see what kind of time we're with after we allow them. But they've been very patient, and I do want to give them a chance to be heard as well. If you would, Lady T, could you give us your perspective on that as well? And actually, Mia, you have a point. You know what? Please, after Lady T, if you'd like to throw something into that about the women and their brutalization under these conditions, I would really love to hear that. So, if you would, Lady T,
yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Thank you, Kevin.
Can she hear us?
I can hear you. Can you all hear me?
You're so low that I'm ready to send out a posse looking for you.
All right. How about now? Can you hear me now?
No, but at least we know we can hear that yell for help. We're run to the light.
How about now? Is that better?
It's still low, Queen, but go ahead. We'll just go ahead and state what you wanted to state, and just let us know when you're done, and I'll allow Queen Mia to go ahead and speak.
Thank you. I just want to just briefly say, I've only had one brief run-in with the law. I was wanting to go get my child, and the white officer had grabbed me by the arm, snatched back away from him, and his partner, which was a white female, she obviously must have had kids herself. So she explained to the officer, no, you need to let her go get her child. Then we can talk to her. But I just feel like this society today, us women have been tired of the abuse that has occurred. And we have now started taking self-defense classes. So we're looked at now as though we are more aggressive than we have ever been before. And I know that that's why law enforcement, they approach us differently. So my take on that is I don't care how aggressive as a woman are, if there's 2 or 3 officers or 4 officers, they can take you down. And it doesn't need to be that many to take one woman down. And it just behooves me to see that men feel like they have, or I should say law enforcement feel like they have to handle a woman in such a brutal manner like that. When we're not as strong as men are. And we never will be. No matter, how...
You're going to have to hang out with my Panther Queens for a while, but go ahead.
Right, so sis, does it matter the strength of a woman compared to a man? I've been there. I've been to jail, had a bad encounter with police officers.
As my co-host, one of my co-hosts was just asking, and I think DJ Smooth is going to turn her mic on real quick. But I don't feel that approach is necessary when it comes to women, whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, what have you. We just don't have that type of strength to take 3 or 4 men down at one time. Go ahead, TJ.
And my question was, does it matter our strength? Because I've been there.
We're going to have to get y'all taught some Krav Maga.
Yeah.
Take down a whole lot of people if you know what you've done. But anyway.
So, it's just not necessary. I don't deem that it's necessary for a woman to have to be handled in such a manner as if they're handling a man. Period, point blank.
Right. See, I got treated worse than my husband got treated. Because I was protecting him how they treated my husband when we got stopped. So does it matter the strength? Does it matter if you're with your man, your husband, your spouse? Does it matter? They treat us the same all the time. So does it matter? I was treated worse than him.
Because they probably
I sat in jail longer than my husband because I was speaking my mind to him. You ain't gonna talk to me crazy. You ain't gonna sit here and rough him up and we haven't done nothing. I sat in jail an extra 4 hours than him. So does that matter? Who we're with? Does it matter if you're with your husband? It doesn't matter.
Can I oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't know
it's
she was
Ginny.
finished,
It's
and I
Ginny.
can barely hear, so I'm not sure what she's done.
Here, let me
Somebody
go.
help me out with that.
Okay, yeah, that was just Miss Wallace. She just wanted to make a quick interjection as well. But I mean, she's got a point there too. Is, you know, do they have to be so aggressive towards us because they feel like we're being a threat?
Can you hear me now? Because I want to interject something real quick. I know you got 4 queens here, and I'm the joker. But what I want to say is, because I'm a comic, what I want to say is too, as a white woman, I've actually been beat up by the cops as well, and I was put in a cell with all my money and jewelry on. Now, that's not normal protocol. You don't put, and it was for a traffic ticket, but I was put in with all my gold on and all my cash in my hand. So they were playing with me, you know, and I didn't think that was appropriate. Excuse me.
Okay. Mia?
Yeah. Well, I was a corrections officer for a couple years. My experience as a female officer was I initially loved the job. I was a little hurt in the academy when they mentioned that the purpose of our job was to make them come back because it was job security. Like they literally have us at the academy here in Arizona. But I started to be harassed by other officers, and it became intense. My lieutenant actually unbuttoned my shirt in the middle of a conversation, and I made the decision to go to a captain to write him up. And he ripped it up, and he told me, we don't write up fellow officers. That if I have beef with him, to take it to the parking lot, just don't do it on the weekends when we have visitation. And again, that's here in Arizona. So I was also pregnant when this occurred, and I was married and pregnant. So I ended up taking my write-up to another female lieutenant who then took it to the warden. After that incident happened or occurred, they made it clear to me, my sergeant pulled me to the side and let me know that if the yard went off, they wouldn't protect me. They wouldn't have my back. They could care less that I was pregnant. So then I went on medical leave to protect my child. And they put me, not medical leave, but restricted duties. They put me in a control room and refused to relieve me just to use the bathroom, despite the fact that I was pregnant. I called out repeatedly over the radio to relieve me for the restroom, and they told me to piss in the trash can. So as a female officer, I will say that when I try to stand up and do the right thing, even when I witnessed officers abusing inmates and abusing their power and writing a report that the inmates did it to themselves, I was silenced. I felt weak. And and I'll say I'm fairly attractive. And at the time I was 21. I'm 35 now. There were officers.
Still look 21. I don't believe you're 35, but go ahead, Quinn.
I'm a mother of a 15-year-old. So, but being frustrated, being not only a black officer and having them make jokes about me helping with the watermelon crew because my people like watermelons, but having them insult me and have a bet, literally putting money in a pot on who can sleep with me first. They did not respect me as a woman in uniform, and ultimately I ended up walking away from my job. The stress almost cost me my child, but while in uniform and still a member of law enforcement, I had an officer here in Arizona from the sheriff's department assault me. He beat me up, and I almost lost my child. The only reason why there was any consequence, which was 6 weeks paid leave, was because my grandfather, Ronald Nelson, was a black chief of police in California, and he made phone calls. And after quite a few phone calls and after all of that work that he put in to get some type of resolution, the only thing they did was make him call me and apologize and gave him paid leave. So as a female, I will say that I felt, even though I was in uniform, even though I was trained, even though I had backup, even though I have relatives in law enforcement in uniform,